Okay, I think we can quickly begin now. So, to get hi everyone. So today we're gonna be trading, looking at some live charts together. So I'm Melanie, and we will start now. Okay. So first things first, as usual, disclaimer: the information expressed in the presentation and on the following slides are solely those of the presenter and not necessarily those of Vantage, and are solely used for educational purposes, as they do not constitute investment advice and or consultation on how a client should trade. Vantage does not guarantee the accuracy or reliability of the information provided herein. So trading margin, FX, and CFDs carry significant risk and is not suitable for all investors, so you could lose substantially more than your initial investment. So as per usual, just do your due diligence before trading any of your own money. Okay, so here is our team. We have Desmond, who is our chief trader and CEO of the company Everest Fortune Group, who are finalists for Best FX Research and Best Equity Research in 2019, 2020, and 2021. Okay, let's just dive right into it. Okay, let me pull out my charts and then we can get started. Okay, so feel free to let me know in the chat if you guys have any requests for any charts that you'd like me to go through. Meanwhile, I think we can just get started on Euro USD first while you guys let me know in the chat. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so as per usual, we'll always start by looking at the higher time frames first, just to get a general idea of where price is heading towards, the general direction. So let's take a look at our weekly time frame first. Okay, we can see prices are moving upwards. Now on our daily, we can see a trend line over here. Okay, we can see prices moving upwards as well on our daily time frame. And we can see kind of a support level over here. Okay, now let's move on to our 4-hour time frame. Now on our 4-hour time frame, we have the same trend line. Oh, well, actually this is, let's see if we have a trend channel instead. Okay, no, but we can all agree that prices are heading upwards. Okay, so we typically would start our analysis on either the 4-hour time frame or on the 1-hour time frame. So we'll just see which chart gives us a clearer price structure, and then we'll start analysis on that. So I think over here, I would do my analysis on the 4-hour instead, just because it gives us a clearer idea of the price movement. Okay, let's get started. So we've already identified the general trend of where prices are heading towards, which is a bullish trend. Okay. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that we don't have a trend channel or a trend line. Okay, so now let's get started and plot our support and resistance levels. So firstly, we'll plot our first support level, which would be the closest swing low to where price is currently at, just over here. Okay, and then our swing high is over here, the closest swing high to where price is currently at, and we can see price heading towards our resistance level over here. Oop, first resistance. Okay, so these are our graphical support and resistance levels, and we can always adjust the levels for our entry, stop loss, or take profit after we have included the Fibonacci levels or any indicators that you guys like to use. Okay. So now let's pull out a couple of Fibonacci levels. I'm going to first pull out a Fibonacci projection over here. So for Fibonacci projection, we like to use these three levels, 61.8, 78.6, and 100%. Okay, we can see the 100% Fibonacci level kind of lines up with our first resistance as well as the swing high here. And I also have another swing high level here, which lines up nicely with my 78.6. So I'm just going to take note of this level as well. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to pull out my Fibonacci retracement over here. And this is what we call a Fibonacci expansion. So we have the negative 27.2 as well as negative 61.8. And I can see my negative 27.2 lines up nicely with my first resistance as well as the 100% Fibonacci projection. Okay, so this is an area of confluence that we can take note of. Okay, I also have another Fibonacci projection over here. So as usual, we're going to use 78.6, 100, and 61.8. So I can see my 61.8 lines up nicely, 78.6 also lines up. So I'm going to keep those two and remove the other two. Sorry about that. Okay, so I can see this level is also another level of support that we can take note of. Okay. Okay, so now that we have established our Fibonacci levels, we can see that there is a huge confluence area here at our first resistance at 1.10320. And we can say that price is likely to reverse off of this area due to that confluence area. Okay, let me just remove this negative 61.8 just so that our charts are clearer. Okay. So for our stop loss level, if we're going in for a sell from this level towards this this support level here, oh, let me just label this level so that it's easier for me to reference. Then in that case, this would be our second support. So if we're going in for a sell from our first resistance to where is my drawing? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, from here to here, then of course we need a stop loss. So in that case, I would place the stop loss just slightly above here. And over here, your take profit, you want to make sure that it's before your first support or before any confluence area, just so that you make sure that your that price actually hits the take profit before reversing off of a huge confluence area, something like this at our first support. Okay, so now that we have our Fibonacci levels and our support and resistance levels, let's pull out some indicators. So as usual, you guys know I like to use Ichimoku as well as MACD because at one glance it tells you exactly the signal that it's giving. So over here, Ichimoku, you can see price is moving above the Ichimoku cloud, giving us a bullish signal. So I'm gonna remove Ichimoku since it doesn't really support our analysis. Over here, I can see MACD is also giving us a bullish signal. So I'm gonna get rid of that as well. Okay, let's take a look at RSI. Okay, so on RSI, if I highlight this area, you can see prices are moving upwards on our, or rather price is making a higher low on our price chart, whereas on our RSI, it is staying horizontal over here. Okay, so this could be a signal that price would drop. Okay, and we call this a bearish divergence. Okay, do you guys have any questions before we move on to our next chart? Feel free to let me know in the chat. I'm just taking a look at our chat right now. Okay. Okay, if there are no questions, let's move on to pound dollar because I think we have a request, yeah, for pound dollar. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay. Okay. So same thing on our pound dollar. Let's take a look at the higher time frames first. So starting from weekly, you can see prices are heading in an upward trend. Okay, and on our, we also have a support level over here on our weekly time frame. Okay, now let's take a look at daily. Okay, similarly, daily is also giving us a bullish signal, or rather a bullish momentum. And you can see price breaking out of this resistance level here. Okay, so now let's move on and decide whether we're gonna analyze this chart on our 4-hour or on our 1-hour time frame. Okay, so here we have our 4-hour time frame. Let's see if we have a trend line. Okay, maybe let's try a trend channel instead. Okay, you can see price is moving within this ascending trend channel. So how do you know whether your trend channel is valid? It's when you have at least 2 significant touches on the top of your trend channel and 2 significant touches on the bottom of your trend channel. So by significant, I mean like if there is a swing high or swing lows. Okay, in this case, we have 3 touches on the top. But yeah, that's just a recap. So this is on our 4-hour time frame. And let's check our 1-hour time frame to see which gives us a clearer price structure. Okay, in this case, they're both about the same. They're pretty clear on both. So I'm just going to annotate on our 4-hour time frame since we've already established this trend channel. Okay. So now let's get started and plot our support and resistance levels. Okay, so here I have price hitting a resistance level over here. Sorry for the noise in the background. Okay, here at the swing low, the closest swing low to where price currently is, we have a support level over here. Okay, so same thing, let's pull out some Fibonacci levels. Here I have a projection. So same thing, we're gonna take note of these 3 levels for Fibonacci projection. Oh, my camera is covering the chart. Sorry about that. Okay, let me... Is it better now? Okay, so where was I? Right, Fibonacci level. So for Fibonacci projection, you want to look for a flash symbol, something like this, or a lightning bolt symbol. Okay. Okay, over here, okay, now let me just pull up my Fibonacci retracement for these levels here. And I have a Fibonacci extension. So for an extension, we use the 100, the levels that are more than 100%. So 127.2 and 161.8. Okay. And I can see my 61.8 lines up with my first resistance. So I'm going to keep that. And my 127 kind of lines up with my 78.6 as well. So I'm going to use this as my stop loss over here. You can see price already reversing off of our first resistance. Okay, let me clear these levels so it's not so messy. Okay, here. So this would be our stop loss over here. And we're going in for a sell because we see price already reversing off of this confluence area here from the 61.8 Fibonacci projection, as well as our first resistance. Okay, and if I zoom in, or rather zoom out, over here I can see that I have another significant level of resistance here with two swing highs, and price looks like it might pull back to this level here. So I'm just going to take note of this level as well. Okay. So this is just a intermediate resistance that we can take note of, or rather support, since we're expecting price to reverse off of our first resistance and head towards this level. So I'm just gonna indicate it by a dotted line. Okay, now that we have that, let's pull out some indicators. So same thing, let's take a look at Ichimoku. And I can see price is moving above the Ichimoku cloud. So typically when you have price moving in this upward trend, especially moving within a ascending trend channel, you want to take a note either for a breakout, so trend channel breakout, or a continuation. So in this case, it looks like price might be continuing within our trend channel since it's right in the middle of our trend channel. So let's pull out another indicator. Here we have MACD also giving us a bullish signal. Okay. On our RSI over here, let me just highlight the areas. I can see that price has made a higher low on our price chart, and on our RSI, it has made a lower low. So this could suggest that price is going to, okay, let me remove the Ichimoku first. So this could suggest that price is about to drop since there is a bearish divergence on our RSI. Okay. 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 Feel free to let me know in the chat if you guys have any questions or any chart requests as well. Okay, next let's take a look at dollar yen. Okay, sure, we will do gold after dollar yen. Okay, let's take a look at the weekly time frame for dollar yen. Okay, we can kind of see price fluctuating a bit over here. We have a overlap resistance level here. Now on our daily time frame, okay, on our daily time frame, we have a couple of support and resistance levels that price has retested a couple of times, but no clear trend in terms of where prices are heading towards. Okay, and on our 4 hours, it looks like price has recently reversed off of our first resistance here. Okay, on our daily, yeah. So here's our 4-hour chart. Now let's take a look at our 1-hour chart as well. Okay, let's go ahead and analyze this on our 4-hour chart now. Let's firstly see if we have any trend channel, which I don't think so. Okay, no trend channel. But we can see prices kind of heading up in an upward direction. No trend line as well. Okay. So now that we have identified the typical trend, let's quickly start analyzing the support and resistance levels. So same thing, we have our first resistance placed firstly at the nearest swing high to where price currently is. Similarly for swing low as well. Okay. Okay, so now let's analyze our support and resistance levels. Let's support them with Fibonacci levels. So here I have a Fibonacci projection. Okay, I can see my 78.6 lines up nicely with my first resistance. Let me just check to see the 100% as well. Okay, so now let me pull out my Fibonacci retracement. So here we have an expansion level. Okay, so for expansion, we use the negatives, negative 61.8 and negative 27.2. And I can already see this level here, this confluence area that I can take note of here. Okay, so in the beginning, you guys would have noticed that I always put my first resistance and first support graphically. So I just take a note at where the closest swing high and swing low levels are first. And then based off of your Fibonacci levels, or if you use a pivot point strategy as well, I mean the indicator, feel free to use that and adjust your support and resistances accordingly as well. But firstly, we always do a graphical analysis first. Okay, and here I have a Fibonacci retracement. So for your typical Fibonacci retracement, we have 23.6, 50%, 38.2, 61.8, and 78.6. And I can see the 50% lines up as well as my 61.8. And actually my 78.6 lines up as well. So I'm just going to keep those three levels. 61.8. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to pull out another retracement over here. Just to see if we have any levels that line up. Okay. Okay, so over here at my 61.8 Fibonacci retracement, it lines up with a swing low over here, another swing low here, and a swing high here. And I can see price has tested this level a couple of times before. So this makes it a pullback support level that I can take note of to be a potential support. Okay, so let me clean this up. Okay, so now this would be my second resistance, and my first resistance would be here, or first support, sorry, and my second support here. Okay, let's see if we have any other levels that we can take note of. Okay, it doesn't look like it. So these are levels that you can take note of as well, this negative 61.8 Fibonacci expansion. But they are a little bit far from where price currently is, so it might be a bit irrelevant. So I'm going to remove that just so that our charts are clearer. Okay, so similarly, the reason why I ended another first support level here is because our second support is kind of far from where price currently is. So using my Fibonacci levels, I identified another significant level over here at our first support level. Okay, so now let's pull out our indicators, Ichimoku and MACD. So here, price is moving above my Ichimoku cloud, giving us a bullish signal, whereas on our MACD, it's giving us a red area, which is a bearish signal. So the general rule of thumb is to follow the general direction of price or the general trend of price. So in this case, it looks like price might be moving upwards. But there isn't a very clear trend. Okay, yeah, there isn't a very clear trend since we don't have any trend lines or any trend channels. So we're just going to make use of our indicators as well as our analysis that we've done so far. So since we have a couple of confluence areas here and here, you can see because of this large confluence area, price reversed off of this area before. Okay. And it recently reversed off of this area as well. So we could be expecting it to hit towards our first support or hit back towards the second resistance. Okay, but before going towards our second resistance, we want to first make sure that it's going to break through our first resistance. So let's pull out another indicator. Okay. So on our RSI, you can see price is making a higher low on our price chart. And on our RSI chart, it is horizontal. Okay, so this gives us a bearish signal. So I'm going to remove my Ichimoku. So we could be expecting price to continue to drop towards our first support, especially since this is such a strong confluence area at our first resistance. Okay, but just to be safe, let's pull out one more indicator. Okay, stochastic is also giving us the same bearish divergence. Okay. Okay, let's quickly move on to gold. Okay, so same thing, we're gonna analyze it on the weekly time frame first. Can see prices headed towards a resistance level here. So we could be seeing a reversal off of this area. Okay. Let's zoom into the daily time frame. Okay, on the daily time frame, it also gives us a bullish trend. Now 4 hours. And 1 hour. Okay, so the 4 hour and 1 hour charts look pretty similar. So it doesn't really matter which charts I use in this case. So I'm just going to use 4 hours. But it's entirely up to you. Okay. Let's see if we have any trend lines. Okay, we have, so for valid trend line, just to recap, it needs 3 significant touches over here. Okay. Now let's see if we have any trend channels. Okay, yes, we do. So the reason why we try and look out for trend channels instead of trend lines, as I mentioned before, is so that we can see if there's gonna be a continuation or if there is gonna be a trend channel breakout. Okay, there's another trend line here, which is more significant, I think. Okay. So let's go ahead and start plotting our support and resistance levels. Here I have my first support. Here I have my first resistance. First support. Second support. Let me see if I can pull my level back any further. Okay, not really. So I'm just going to leave it here. This is my second support. And then for your first resistance over here, but this level is kind of close to where prices currently is. So let's just make use of our Fibonacci levels later on. Okay, so I already see over here that we have a Fibonacci projection level. Okay, and my 61.8 lines up nicely with the first resistance. Let's see if we have any other levels. Okay, let's see if we have a Fibonacci expansion. Okay, we have a Fibonacci expansion over here, negative 27.2, which lines up with 100%. So I can place another level here. This is my second resistance. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna remove the 78.6. Okay, is this better? Okay, maybe I should adjust the position of my camera for future webinars. Okay, thanks for letting me know, guys. Okay, so so I don't think we have any other Fibonacci levels. Let's just check. Okay, no. So let's go in with our indicators now. Let's try Ichimoku and MACD once again. Price is moving above the Ichimoku cloud on our Ichimoku indicator, giving us a bullish signal. And on our MACD, it's also giving us a bullish signal, which is good. Okay, so once price breaks out of our first resistance, we can go in for a buy towards this second resistance over here. Okay, now let's see our RSI. So on our RSI as well, we can see that there is a trend line giving us a bullish signal as well. Okay. Okay, we have a little bit of time. I have a question on Kiwi dollar, so we can go ahead and quickly just go through it. Okay. Okay, so same thing. Let's take a look at our weekly time frame. can see prices kind of trending as well. And on our daily time frame, 4 hours. Okay, let's just analyze on our 4-hour chart. Okay, over here I can see price breaking out of this ascending trend line over here. Right, price has recently broken out of our ascending trend line. Okay, this is better because we have a significant swing low over here. Okay. So support and resistance levels, we have our first support here. And I can pull it back a little bit. And first resistance would be here. Okay, over here. This is our first resistance. Okay, let's go in with our Fibonacci levels now. So here I have a retracement. And I can see my 50% lines up with my first resistance. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep the 50%. Now let's see if we have another retracement from here to here. Oh. Okay, I have another level of support here at my swing low in line with the 78.6. Okay, so this will be my second support. Okay, I'm just going to keep that and clear the other levels. Okay. So now let's go in with our indicators. Price is moving below the Ichimoku cloud, giving us a bearish signal. Okay, and on our MACD, however, is giving us a bullish signal. So let's pull out another indicator. Okay, we have a slight divergence. Do we? Okay, wait. Let me just see if this is a horizontal line. Okay, so this is a horizontal line on our RSI chart, whereas on our price chart, on our price chart, price has made a lower low. So this is an example of a divergence once again. So this could mean that price is going to continue to go up towards our first resistance. Okay, so I'm going to remove our Ichimoku. So price is likely to hit towards our first resistance, which is in line with the 50% Fibonacci retracement. Okay. Okay, I think that's all the time that we have for today. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Do let me know if you guys have any other questions. Okay, I hope my camera isn't blocking the screen again. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming today. I hope you guys learned something and I found this helpful. Have a great weekend and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.